Every time we post a video about Douglas County, the comments look something like this.
Please stop telling people to move here.
Don't California or Nevada.
We're full. Because if you've lived in Douglas County for a long time, you've probably watched this place change a lot over the years.
So the question is Douglas County growing too fast?
Hi, my name is Nate Almeida, and this is my wife Jen, and we help people buy and sell homes throughout Douglas County.
So let's talk about one of the most pressing issues that locals have. The truth is, people aren't moving here because they came across an ad. They're moving here because they're looking for something. They're looking for less traffic, more space, more freedom, more access to the outdoors, and maybe a slower pace of life. And for a lot of people, Douglas County checks those boxes. We talk to families every week who tell us the same thing. We came to visit once and we couldn't stop thinking about it.
But let's take a different perspective on this. If you've lived here for 20, 30, 40, or 50 or more years like Jen and I, then you've seen this place change in a lot of ways. There are some changes that us locals are excited to see, but other changes, not so much. Growing up here as a kid, I remember riding our bikes through fields where neighborhoods didn't even exist. You can't do that anymore. The locals here know the 7-Eleven on Tillman as a convenience. When I was a kid, it wasn't even there. Or we often hear people complain about the traffic in town. But when I was a kid, I think there was only one traffic light. I remember when my parents bought their 2 acres and built a house on it for under $100,000. But today, that's easy $1.5 million. Many of us remember when home prices felt attainable for local families. But today, they're higher than ever and even feel out of reach for most people.
One of the biggest things people point to is the housing, because whether you love growth or hate growth, most people can agree on this. Home prices have risen dramatically, and for younger families who grew up here, that can make it harder to stay here. That's probably the part of this conversation we hear the most. Not politics, not where people are coming from, just affordability. Can people still afford to live in this area?
But here's where the conversation gets complicated, because growth brings a lot of things people want. More restaurants, more healthcare options, more jobs, more services, more shopping. And many people are moving to Douglas County not to make changes, but they're moving to Douglas County because they like the way it is right now. And that is something we hear all the time.
Maybe the question isn't, is Douglas County growing too fast? Maybe the better question is, how do we grow without losing what makes this place so special? Because that's what people really care about the most. The mountain views, the small town feel, knowing your neighbors, being 30 minutes from Tahoe, watching the sunset behind the Sierras, that's the Douglas County people are trying to protect.
Now we're curious. If you've lived here a long time, like Jen and I have, what changes have you noticed?
As a 5th-generation Nevadan, I remember when there was one street light in the middle of town. Also, the fields that I used to play in are now covered with houses.
Now go ahead and comment below and let us know what you think about that.